Alright guys, today I'm going to be giving you my personal top 15 bucket list roller coasters as of fall 2018, and I made one of these videos a while back, and honestly my opinions have changed quite a bit. There are some coasters that have appealed to me very much more than they used to, and you're going to see coasters from all over the world here. There are 15 of them, so it was kind of hard to break it down into the ones I want to ride the most, but you're going to see coasters from all across the world, and so yeah, let's get right into this. So coming into the number 15 spot, we're going to have Helix at Leesburg, and I think the reason why this one was so low is just because, you know, I've heard these launches are kind of weak, and I heard the ride itself is really fun, but it's nothing too insane, but Helix really appeals to me. I am so excited to actually ride this coaster, and Leesburg looks like a fantastic park, and just how it interacts with the side of the mountain looks insane, and I'm really looking forward to this coaster one day eventually, and it just looks awesome, very, very fun, and has some great airtime moments, and yeah. Moving on to the number 14 spot, this might be a little controversial. This is the Voyage at Holiday World. Now, I realize this is really low, and I think the reason why this is really low was because recently there was that whole situation with Ryan saying that Voyage really dropped. He even put it at number 11 in the whole world, which shocked me, so I kind of lost a little hope for it. Nonetheless, it looks like a great ride, but more coasters have appealed to me over time. I used to think this was a top 5 coaster in the world, but I'm kind of not so much thinking that now, but it still looks like an awesome coaster. I mean, it's a giant wooden machine. I mean, it just looks freaking insane. It is long. It has that really crazy ending, and I heard this thing at night was absolutely phenomenal, so can't wait to go to Hollywood Nights and try that out one day. Number 13 is one that you all pretty much know me for. This is Coaster Through the Clouds at a Wanda Park in China, I believe. This coaster just looks insane to me. You know, I'm a huge fan of these massive Intamin roller coasters, and Coaster Through the Clouds is no exception. This ride just looks insane. I mean, you know, it may not be the most intense or crazy looking coaster, but it is massive. I mean, you just look at this thing, it is freaking huge, and I cannot wait to ride this coaster just because the drop looks amazing. You know, it has this massive stangled eye that looks like a lot of fun. There are some potentially great airtime moments and some really fast-paced turns. It looks like such a fun ride overall. Can't wait for it. Number 12 is going to be T-Express at Everland in Korea. This looks like a really awesome coaster. It is an Intamin prefab, and I believe it will be one of the best wooden coasters in the world, if not the best. I don't know if it'll be the best, but it looks incredible. That first airtime hill looks absolutely insane. From what I've heard, it is the most insane airtime moment on any wooden roller coaster. Now, that drop also looks absolutely insane. The thing is, the first half of this coaster, well, it's not even a half. It's more like a quarter before the brake run. All of that, you know, the drop, the airtime hill, the first turns, that looks absolutely incredible. But then after that, it's kind of like Balder, so it looks fun. It's kind of like a mixture of El Toro and if Balder were to have a baby. So yeah, it looks really fun though. T-Express is one of my top bucket list coasters for sure. Number 11 is Wildfire at Kolmarden. This is a wooden RMC roller coaster, and it looks insane. This coaster looks absolutely stunning. The views you get from the top of this coaster look great. The actual coaster itself is beautiful. It is the most iconic roller coaster, in my opinion, on the planet. It looks amazing, and I mean that as in looks amazing, like ride-wise, and just staring at it. It looks incredible. It's such a beautiful structure, and the drop looks insane. It's such a unique RMC, and the way it interacts with the terrain looks great. It's very fast, long, well-paced. I mean, what more could you want? It's one of the most well-rounded coasters out there. So now we're getting into the top 10, and number 10 is going to be X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. X2 has been one of my bucket list coasters for a long time, and I think the reason why is because people have built up a reputation of this coaster being like one of the most intense rides out there, and I can see it because it's this huge freaking fourth dimensional roller coaster that I believe it is over 200 feet. It is huge. It has a crazy drop. The audio is playing throughout the ride, which is just so epic, and it looks really intense. I mean, those effects are really cool too, so overall, yeah, this looks like one of the best rides in California. Number 9 is going to be the Intamin Megalight clones. There are 5 of these in the world, I believe. There is Puritan, there is Coaster Through the Mediterranean or something like that. And then there is Kawasami or Kawasami, however you want to say it. And then there's 2 others. I believe one of them is actually called Megalight. So these clones, I have heard, are some of the best rides on the planet. People call them just absolutely insane. Skyrush got the nickname Intamin Megalight on steroids, and I love Skyrush. So I can't wait to experience these things. They look really fun and well-paced, and definitely the best cloned coasters out there. Number 8 is going to be one you might want to see higher on my list, but not for me. This is Expedition GeForce at Holiday Park. This ride, oh my gosh, it looks incredible. The first drop looks really fun. The airtime hills look great. The turns look fun. My only problem is this ride looks kind of repetitive. I mean, it's airtime hill and then turn, airtime hill, turn. But nonetheless, it still looks fantastic. I mean, people call this Millennium Force 2.0, so that's pretty cool. I think it looks like a great ride. Number 7 is going to be Coaster at Peony Playland. And here's the thing. I've never been a huge fan of this coaster. In fact, I really don't see the hype around it, but I think why it's moved up so much on my bucket list is because I have heard so many great things about this ride. Like, I hear the airtime is absolutely insane. There's no restraint, so apparently you're flying, and that jump off the brake run, I will admit, that looks incredible. And it overall looks like just a great classic Woody. Not only will it be fun, but I'm excited to see how that incredible airtime plays out, according to most people. Number 6 is going to be Hyperion at Energylandia. Hyperion, in my eyes, looks like one of the best roller coasters on the planet. I mean, this ride just looks absolutely stunning. It is really, really insane. I mean, the intensity level looks great on this coaster. I'm a huge fan of Intamin's, and this one is no exception. I mean, it looks intense. The airtime looks really good. It has a lot of great bank turns, and that dive loop element is just freaking insane. I mean, wow, that looks incredible. And overall, this ride just looks like it has some great potential of being one of the best coasters on the planet. So now we're down into the top 5, and number 5 is going to be El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. El Toro, oh my gosh, I've heard legendary things about this ride. I've heard it's intense, I've heard the airtime is deadly, I've heard Rolling Thunder is just unspeakable, and I want to know what Rolling Thunder actually feels like, and that's why this coaster is mainly on my bucket list, because of Rolling Thunder itself. And the first 2 airtime hills look great, but that drop looks insane too. I can't imagine how incredible this coaster must be for people to have it as a top 5 ride in the whole world. Some people even having it as their number 1, which just sounds phenomenal, and I can't wait to ride this coaster. Number 4 is going to be Wood Coaster at Night Valley. I'm a huge GCI fan, and this one's no exception. It looks like one of the best wooden roller coasters on the planet. Now, why is it in front of rides like Voyage and El Toro? Will it be better than them? No, of course not, but I think why it's so high is because I'm such a huge fan of these GCIs, and this one looks like the best because it interacts with the terrain, it trailblazes through that layout, it is completely fast, it has so many potential airtime moments and turns, and just, wow, it looks incredible. I can't wait to ride this coaster one day. It just looks phenomenal. Number 3 is going to be Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. Now, Steel Vengeance, this ride looks crazy. The airtime is phenomenal because there's more airtime than any other coaster on the planet. From what I've heard, the airtime may not be the world's best, and it's up there, but people say the reason why it's so good is because there's so much. There's more than any other coaster. The inversions look all right, but really the drop, the airtime, all of them look crazy. This whole ride just looks like so much fun. I was a huge fan of Twisted Timber, so I can't wait to find out how good Steel Vengeance is as well. Number 2 is going to be a coaster that I almost got to ride, and it actually just opened back up today. This is Lightning Rod at Dollywood. Now, when I went to Dollywood, I got up close to this ride, and I looked at it, and I said, frick, because this coaster just sat there, just doing nothing because it was closed for like so many months. I don't even remember how many, but today it has opened back up actually. Here's a picture of the new trains it got. That looks cool. That looks like really interesting. And what I've heard from people today is that the ride is actually running smoother somewhat, and people say it doesn't feel as fast, so that scares me. But anyway, this coaster looks absolutely phenomenal nonetheless. Quad down looks insane. The launch looks so much fun. All the airtime and transitions. It overall looks like one of the best coasters on the planet, and I am so anticipating this ride. I can't wait. So what could be my number 1 most anticipated roller coaster on the planet? Some of you might jump to conclusions and say, is it Kingda Ka maybe because that's the world's tallest? No. Is it Formula Rossa because it's the fastest? No. Is it Dodonpa because it has the world's fastest acceleration? None of those are correct. It is actually DC Rivals at Warner Brothers Movie World in Australia. I cannot wait to go to Australia. I mean, not only does the continent look incredible, like I cannot wait to hang out with some of them Kangs, but DC Rivals looks like a top 3 roller coaster on the planet. It looks so incredible. The drop looks great. It looks intense. The airtime looks phenomenal. The transitions look intense. It is a long ride, well paced. beast. Mac did a phenomenal job with this thing, and I can't wait to experience this and ride it backwards as well. It looks so good, and I could see it being the world's best coaster, and I think that's why it's so high on my bucket list. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Post your comments down in the section below. What are your top bucket list coasters? Did you agree with my list? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, coaster fans, I will see you later.